Hi, everybody. Good morning. It's Friday, December 22nd, 2023. Good, very early morning here in Las Vegas. Welcome to Against the Public. I'm Dana Lane. This is your first look at early betting patterns and where you might want to steer clear of those early public opinions. Today, I've identified 3 NBA plays for Friday where early betting patterns are going in the wrong direction. We're going to try to get you going in the right direction. After the show, please go to Pickdawgz.com where I have locked in right now my NBA 3-pack for $49.99. Gives you all 3 of those plays for one low price. And of course, that comes with our Pickdawgz win guarantee that states that you must profit or receive an immediate site credit for the purchase price. If the 3-pack isn't exactly what you're looking for, guys, thank you so much to everybody that has dived into my 30-day all-access pass. That's available. Also, my 90-day all-access pass and my annual all-access pass also available. Those are there for less than $10 a day. The 30 and the 90-day passes less than $10 a day. So it's by far the best package that I have to offer. It is the most convenient. You don't have to keep on going back to the website every day and getting individual games. But no matter how you join me, please make sure you do. If you need more reasons why you should become an all-access customer, here they are. And of course, you know by now that I'm the #1 college football handicapper on the website, basically in the industry. Have plus 2,445 units won this season on the back of 59% winners. And once again, guys, if you haven't had the opportunity to come through Las Vegas, every year there's a college football handicapping contest amongst the best handicappers in the industry. I've won that again this season for the 3rd time in 6 years. Over the last 90 days, that college football win percentage has risen to 60%, plus 2,200 units won, #1 in that span. Over the last 30 days, I've hit 73% of my college football selections, plus 940 units. And to put a cherry on top of that, I've hit 8 straight college football selections. So please join me just for that. Speaking of football, I'm the #1 NFL handicapper over the last 30 days with 63% winners plus 760 units won after a 5-3 week a week ago. Guys, for better or worse, these numbers are all up on Pickdawgz.com. They get updated almost hourly. So everything I say to you, you can go to the website and see. Everything is absolutely documented. So please join me one way or the other. The track record is there. I always let my numbers speak for themselves, for better or worse. And right now, especially in football, we are scorching hot and have been all season. So let's get to our free plays. Starting out at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, game 521, 522, Dallas Mavericks versus the Houston Rockets. Houston minus 7.5, 227.5 is your total. And this number was set out as high as 233 in some of the smaller books in some of those spots, but that didn't last long at all. I see some early betting coming in, and that has pushed this number down to 227 here in Vegas after it was announced, of course, that Doncic is going to be out of this game. 18 of 27 games this year have gone over the total for the Mavericks, and although that has not been the case for the Rockets for most of the season, they have a string of 3 straight overs while giving up 132 points a game. With Doncic out of the lineup, I think there's going to be a massive overreaction, which we are going to take advantage of, and our free pick in this game is going to be over 227.5. Game number 2, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 523, 524 is your rotation numbers. Atlanta Hawks versus the Miami Heat. Miami minus 1.5, 238.5 is your total. This is one of my favorite betting angles, and it's very simple. And if you followed me for any length of time, you know what I'm going to say. When there are 2 teams that are clearly an over team or clearly an under team, I go the other way because the books almost always put up a number like they're begging the public to go the other way or to go the way of the wave. And if you talking about the side, that's really no different here. But this one, we're talking about the totals. For instance, okay, so the Atlanta Hawks, according to what I'm looking at now, have been an over team all season. 18 of their 27 games have cashed overs, while 15 of 28 have gone over for the Heat. Not that big of a deal when you're talking about the Heat, but certainly that's a massive number when we're talking about the Atlanta Hawks. A lot of times they're right around that 500 mark. So when you have one team that clearly is an over team like the Hawks, well, that's something that you have to look at on a nightly basis. But to make this theory work, the numbers have to be current too. Even though we look at a year's worth of work, which is not that long, so far in the NBA season, but we are getting a good chunk of data so far. The current form has to also be there as well, and it is for the Atlanta Hawks. We've seen 8 of their last 11 games go over the total. We see Miami on a 4-game over streak. Atlanta's been dealing with totals in the 240s, and now they have to. Now they're gonna put up a line that's gonna say 238.5. So we're not gonna lay or take that bait. Sorry, the family's home, so now I'm just completely distracted. We're not gonna take that bait. It's 238.5 is gonna be the under. Excuse me for 1 second. Okay. Sorry, I got to get this in. I got a deadline. Normally, I would stop it. All right, game number 3, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 5:27, 5:28. Of course, we're going to do this quickly now before everybody comes through my office, which is a great place to have an office. Washington Wizards and the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors minus 12, 248.5 is your total. We see 67% of the early tickets coming in on the Warriors. 55% of the money's coming in on the Wizards, which probably will go up after the Wizards game against Portland. I'm not in the business of betting the Wizards, who have the 27th worst team in my NBA power rankings, but this Warriors team has a history of playing up to the level of their competition. We had 2 examples this year of that happening. One was against the San Antonio Spurs when they were a 10.5-point favorite. They barely got by the Spurs by 6, and then against the Blazers as a 12.5-point favorite, they scraped by the Blazers. In fact, they went into the fourth quarter losing that game outright. So they beat the Blazers by 4. Also a factor in this is Jordan Poole going back to Golden State. And, we've already heard Steve Kerr talk about how they didn't like the way that ended. And, in that deal, they got Chris Paul from the Wizards, which seems so crazy that Chris Paul was on the Wizards for a second, never played or anything. But Gavin Jordan Poole back there, I think it's going to be, it's going to have a little chip on his shoulder, and I think he's going to want to show his former team that they should not have gotten rid of him. And honestly, going to Washington, he's probably a little upset about it. So he's going to hand it to Washington, or hand it to Golden State. We're going to take the Wizards plus the 12. So that does it for our 3 games today. Please go to pickdawgz.com. Get involved with one of my many packages available, including my NBA 3-pack for $49.99. Get that 3-pack now or jump on my 30-day or 90-day all-access pass for less than $10 a day. Both are locked in as we speak. And I was going to go through some data that's really geeked out, but we'll save that for tomorrow. Let's just recap our free plays. Dallas, Houston over 227.5. Atlanta, Miami under 238.5. And the Wizards plus 12 against the Golden State Warriors. That does it for today's show for Against the Public. I'm Dana Lane. I wish you nothing but the best with your wagers on Friday.